AITA for allowing my son to distance himself from his sister who constantly reports everything he does and invaded his privacy. I am a father, 38 years old. I have 2 children. My son, Mark, is 13, and my daughter, Lily, is 11. My wife, Sarah, is 37. From the time Lily was young, Sarah has always given her more freedom and treated her in a very indulgent way. She allows Lily to stay up late, buys her almost anything she asks for, and excuses nearly all of her behavior, no matter how unreasonable it may be. Because of this, Lily has developed a strong sense of entitlement, especially toward Mark. Lily does not respect Mark's privacy at all. She constantly reports even the smallest things he does, knowing that Sarah will take her side. In the beginning, it was small things like saying Mark did not make his bed or stayed up later than usual. But over time, it became constant. She would report that Mark did not greet her loudly enough, or that he left his shoes in the hallway. It felt as if she was always watching him and waiting to tell Sarah something. Mark is 13 and, like many teenagers, he values his privacy and space. He is trying to understand himself and form his own life. Lily's constant behavior makes it nearly impossible for him to relax or feel secure. The situation became much worse when Lily somehow learned that Mark had a crush on a girl at school. He never told her. He clearly did not want her to know. Most likely she overheard him while he was speaking with a friend. Lily began teasing him about it, saying things such as, "So you like that girl, do you?" Mark was embarrassed and felt exposed. Then Lily told other students at school about it. Mark felt deeply humiliated and betrayed. When Mark tried to talk to Sarah about how much this hurt him, she dismissed him completely. She told him to stop being dramatic and to move on. After that, Mark decided that he needed distance. He began avoiding Lily as much as he could. One day, I came home and saw Mark and Lily sitting together watching a show. For a moment, I hoped things were improving. But Lily was controlling everything. She insisted Mark watch her choice and told him how to sit. Mark became frustrated and went to his room. Lily started crying, but it seemed very forced. She immediately went to Sarah and said Mark was being mean to her. Sarah wanted to go upstairs to scold Mark, but I stopped her and said I would speak with him myself. When I spoke to Mark, he opened up. He told me how difficult it had become to live like this. He said he could not trust Lily anymore because she constantly invaded his privacy. He also told me the situation with his crush had been incredibly painful. He said he felt like no matter what he did, he was always the one who was blamed. He said he simply wanted space and peace. Now Mark refuses to be around Lily, and I understand why. He needs time, boundaries, and respect. However, Sarah insists that I punish Mark for avoiding his sister. She says he is being unkind and that siblings must always spend time together. She has been giving me the silent treatment because I refuse to punish him for needing space. I feel stuck in the middle. I understand that children should get along, but forcing Mark into uncomfortable situations only hurts him more. Sarah does not see the harm being done. She believes that I am being too gentle on Mark. So I am wondering if I am wrong for not punishing my son when all he wants is space from someone who has repeatedly invaded his privacy and shared personal things about him. After people encouraged me to reflect, I realized how unfair and painful the situation has been for Mark. I spoke seriously with Sarah. I tried to explain how Lily's behavior and her own reactions were harming Mark emotionally. I brought up the situations where Lily embarrassed him and how constant reporting has made him feel trapped. Sarah denied everything. She insisted she was not showing favoritism. She said Mark was just behaving badly and that avoiding Lily was wrong. She said she was simply trying to make them get along. No matter how calmly I spoke, she did not accept any of my points. I did not want to fight, so I stepped away and went to talk to Mark instead. I told Mark that I love him and that I see how much he has been hurting. I told him that I should have done more to protect him and that I would do better. He looked relieved, like a weight had been lifted. He told me how alone he had felt. I assured him that he is not alone anymore. At this point, I realized that I could no longer ignore the imbalance in our home. Many people told me to leave the marriage, but I was afraid. I live in California, and everything is split evenly in a divorce. I also do not have strong finances because of my wife's spending. I did not know how to handle the situation or how to afford a lawyer. I tried again to speak with Sarah. I told her clearly that things needed to change and that Lily needed fair discipline. She became defensive and upset. She said I was turning against Lily. The conversation escalated. She packed a bag and left with Lily, saying she needed a break. That night, Mark and I spent time together. We ordered pizza, watched movies, and talked. He was relaxed and cheerful for the first time in a long time. I realized how heavy the atmosphere in our home had become. Sarah returned the next day but would not speak to me. The silence continued. But during that time, I grew closer to Lily when she was calm. She slowly began to open up. She eventually asked me why her mother was upset. I explained gently that fairness is important and that I care about both her and Mark equally. She listened quietly, and I hope she understood even a little. Over time, Mark and Lily began to get along again in small, natural moments. They laughed, shared snacks, and seemed more relaxed. The atmosphere slowly began to heal. However, when Sarah saw the rest of us growing closer without her involvement, she became upset. One evening, she entered the room while we were talking and became extremely emotional. She accused us of turning against her and began yelling. She threw objects and said that she was being painted as the villain. Then she left once again. Since that night, the house has been quiet. Mark and Lily are getting along better, and both children seem more peaceful. I do not know what will happen with Sarah, but I am focusing on being present for both of my children and making sure they feel respected and supported. Thank you to everyone who encouraged me to look at this situation honestly. It helped me begin to make real changes.